everybody, welcome back to our channel Autistic Multiple Life. This channel was created to erase stigma around autism and dissociative identity disorder and other conditions in dissociative spectrum and other type of neurodiversities, and speak about intersectionality. And now I'm Lilian, made this video. I'm a primary protector of the system, and when I say system, I mean person who have different alters, different personalities in their head. And now Mowgli near me, our littles, 4-year-old boy, he's not an interject, and I want to speak how he appeared. Maybe it was our first split. I think it was first split in Iman's system, but maybe not. And it was because of transphobia. It was because Iman was transgender kid. So I want to speak about transgender kids. At first, what I want to say that you need to understand the context. I was raised in a deeply religious family, Christian Orthodox family. In Russia, after Soviet Union, half people in this time was atheist, but half of popularity became interested in religion after Soviet Union was collapsed. Iman was living in Ukraine. In Ukraine was the same situation like in Russia, and the intention from Russia going to Ukraine. And Iman's dad was a deeply religious guy. He had this religious idea even when he was a kid, despite that he was raised in atheist family. But when he became older, because of Iman's mother, he became a Christian. Iman's mother became Christian because of Western books. And Iman's dad was really obsessed with all this religious stuff, and it became worse and worse in any years. Why worse and worse? Because he was a religious fundamentalist, he was really conservative, and he believed in many conspiracy theories that in this church, like, I don't know, protocols of the elders of Zion, this kind of anti-Semitic stuff that was popular in Germany, Nazi Germany. And in a Russian Christian Orthodox Church is deeply anti-Semitic, is deeply racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic. When Iman was a kid, he wasn't read all these big books about religion, but he was really interested in the stuff. Not like lately, but he was interested in the stuff. And in Russia, when most of Christians don't ever read Bibles, it was really weird, I think. So Iman's family was more religious than most families that I knew. When Iman was a teen, Iman's dad was reading all these big Christian Orthodox analysis text, and he was very deeply in this Christian Orthodox religious studies. He listened to lectures, watched videos, reading books, and Iman godparents tried to find advice from him, so he was kind of respectful figure around in his small kind of friends community, because he was the most religious, and many believe that he was the most righteous guy. It was difficult to explain that this guy could be abusive. When Iman was little, Iman was transgender and still transgender, but when Iman was 2, 4, 3 years old, Iman was called themselves a boy. Iman was called themselves Mowgli because Iman really liked Mowgli book. Iman understand that they're not Mowgli from books, they just like this name. And Iman asked everyone to call that they're he, not she, call that they're just, I don't know, behave like Iman a boy. And in Iman's family, everyone speaks that, of course, Iman a girl, you need to behave like girls, they allowed Iman. And it was very difficult because Iman understand that they would never accept them and they would never behave properly with them if they would continue to speak that they're a girl. So yeah, Iman was a transgender kid. Even if Iman don't ever listen this words about transgender stuff and LGBT stuff, Iman don't even knew what it means to be a transgender. And and it was, I think, really difficult. It was really difficult because I don't understand that people like them exist, and this is the reason why we hate all this kind of rhetoric about gay propaganda or trans propaganda, because if you are trans kid, you are still trans kid, even if you don't have this kind of information. But this information would help Ayman to understand that they are not alone, that it's okay to be them, and they, maybe even if they are not kind of, it's not kind of cursed, it's not kind of something that God would punish them. But it was kind of compromise. Ayman decided, okay, I would try to be a girl because of God, because of my parents. I would try not to be a girl like girl, because Ayman don't understand this kind of gender stereotypes, but at least I would call myself she. I would call myself Nika, Veronica. It's Ayman passport name. I would call myself Veronica, and say that I'm a girl. And Ayman was splitted, so part of the system, it's became Mowgli, this kind of 3-year-old boy who couldn't go to this kind of compromise. Part of Ayman would never go to this kind of compromise, and part of became like Ayman is now. After that, it was second split because it was really traumatic environment, and Lisa appeared. Lisa was a kind of little girl who was kind of scared of everything and have this kind of very strong empathy toward different peoples. And I think she... So I think it was happened partly because Ayman was so scared in this time. So Lisa became this kind of girl who was scared of everything, because Ayman was scared of their parents, of all this expectation. Yeah, so now what's happened now, it was like 20 years passed. Ayman still is transgender. Ayman have kind of problems with their sexual life. Ayman have kind of problems with their everyday understanding of their own body because of all this transphobia. But after 20 years, Ayman finally realized that they're a transgender person. At first it was non-binary person, because Ayman don't understand this kind of gender stuff, that people, women or men. Ayman somewhere in the middle. But after that, Ayman understand that Ayman was thinking that they're just non-binary person, but they don't need it, full transition. But after that, Ayman understands that they need transition. So now we're in the line of to transgender clinic, and we understand why we have so many problems with body understanding. And Mowgli is still in our system. He's our little, and Lisa still in our system. They believe that they are twins, and Mowgli is the one who remember many trauma from early childhood. He is our 4 years old. I will give a link to interview with him below, an interview with Lisa. And it was a deep trauma, and we think maybe we became to develop like system because of it. So now it's near, I think, more than 20 people in our system, and all the stuff and consequences, maybe it's really all the stuff and consequences of Ayman's parents' transphobia. We are disabled, we have many problems with understanding of our body. Okay, we don't believe that the fact that our system is wrong. We like to be who we are, but it was so big cost it was such a big cost, so we became who we are now. And I don't know, maybe we would never become system if Ayman parents wouldn't be such a transphobe. Maybe we would become system, but we certainly wouldn't have many problems with sexual life. We certainly wouldn't have many problems in our body understanding. And when I say body understanding, I mean even psychological problems, like kind of understanding of our breathing, kind of understanding how to make us feel more comfortable. And our life would be, Ayman's life would be really better. So I don't regret that I exist like Lilian, but I regret that Ayman faced in this kind of transphobia. And if you want to make your kid, disabled, maybe even multiple, if your kid is singlet, if you want to make your kid live with many self-doubts and don't understand their body and have deeply psychological problem and maybe even physical problems, and in adult life have problems with sexual life with their partners, you could be a transphobic parent, okay? If you don't want it, stop being a transphobic parent. And yeah, we understand who we are, and yeah, I understand who I am, and I understand it even when I was a kid. I don't know why people try to gaslight me because I was a kid and I am Mowgli. Leo said that I could came, so we switched. And yeah, I want just to say that now they said to me that it's Pride Month, LGBT Pride Month, and I want to speak about LGBT kids. We are mature and we have their own identity, and we don't need to be just shattered and erased just because we are more young. It's just not right when you try to erase someone's identity just because this is a kid. You know, yeah. Lil helped me to find the words, but the more important stuff is if you believe in some way in this kind of pride, you need to believe that people have their own feeling about themselves, even if these people are kids. Because if it's not for pride for kids and adults, it's not a thing for everyone. You couldn't just shut up a person after that, believe that this person would be self-conscious and have good understanding of themselves and society when they became older. It's not like by magic, like Ayman used to say it. And we are not less people just because we are more young. So yeah, now it's Leo and me together in Kakon. But yeah, I think you just need to understand that I'm a real person. I was a real person. I have this feeling when I was younger and when I was living with Ayman parents, and I like that Ayman would finally make this kind of transition. I would hope that Ayman would make this kind of transition, and Ayman understands this is better for that. But maybe it was wrong. It was wrong that we need to wait so long. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to make it more visible. See you next time, or someone else will see you next time.